This is an update on the gears since my last post. Let's just go over a few things. The first thing was this is the axle gear, and you can see that the teeth are missing here and here. And this was the pinion gear, and there are broken teeth embedded in there. And of course, when it failed, it caused this gear to fracture, and so the gear broke. And then I tried to understand what was going on so it wouldn't happen in the future. And what it appears, from the best I could observe, because you can't see inside the differential when it's running, but let me show you what I think occurred. Here's the differential, and let's see if I can get some better light on it. And I believe what occurred was, now these are new gears here. Got these from Steam Traction World. What I believe occurred is you have a gear on each side. You have one here in the axle, and you have the second one here in the axle, and of course we have the other side of the differential. What I believe occurred, and exactly how it happened I'm not quite sure, but I believe that the axle gear moved over slightly, and what happened was, normally the axle gear meshes with this particular gear right here, and it's free to turn in this area and doesn't mesh with that gear because the one from this side meshes with that gear. But I believe what happened was there was enough play. I'm trying to get a better position on that. I believe there was enough play that caused this axle gear to move over that way. Doesn't have to go much. I believe it was only 32 thousandths when I measured it before I did any alteration. And what it did is the teeth are meshing with this gear. Now suddenly this axle gear tries to mesh with this gear, and of course it's going the opposite way. If this gear is going that way, you can see that gear is going the opposite. If this tries to mesh, you're going to break teeth. There's no question about it. So I believe that's what happened, and I believe that is from play back and forth. Either the differentials got play in it back and forth, or the axles, and you saw my earlier videos, the axles, you couldn't get the end play out of them, and I went through that and resolved that. So what I did to further hopefully improve the layout was several things. I did a bunch of things. First thing I did was, if you notice, I have a bevel on this gear only on one side. So the bevel side would go in this direction, so it would not try to strike the teeth down in here. And I didn't take off much, so it's not going to affect the strength of the gear. The other thing I did was, and I'll show you on this gear. This is the gear as you get them that were in the car, and also Model Works supplied me with this gear. This is a new gear, and so was this. But what I did was I altered the gear. What I ended up doing is I ended up taking this gear and machining, and let's see if you can see it. Let me slide it over. And I ended up machining away some of the teeth, so there is, you can see it there, this end is flush, and the intersection that rubs against the differential case I left, but I took the teeth off and I went down to the root of the gear. So if for some reason this axle gear tries to move, it won't hit the teeth. There's enough space. Initially it was 32 thousandths, like I said before. Now I'm running about 60 or 70 thousandths space between this and this gear when it goes inside the differential. So if there's any little bit of play, it certainly won't cause the gears to get damaged. The other thing is, when you assemble that, it's important that you assemble it so that this lip here is against it like that, and the reason being is that that's where it sits that's where it has to sit. There it is. Here's the space, and the same on this side. So the axle gear sits in here with the teeth shaped that way, so it would have a hard time coming across and striking the other teeth. So that's the first thing I did. And then I found out when I was assembling the axles back in the car, and I think we've all experienced that, is that when you put the two axles in and you have to put them in the car, and you put the wheel gears on the axle, and the threaded section sticks through, and the bushings are on this side, and they give you a lock washer, split lock washer, and they give you a full-size nut. And the problem is you can get one side on, the lock washer and nut, but when you go to do the other side, there's not enough space to get the lock washer and nut in place, and it's very difficult. So a lot of guys end up eliminating the lock washer and put Loctite on the nut, and I guess that will work, but I didn't want to chance it. So what I ended up doing was, first thing I did, these are the original lock washers, and let's take a reading on these, give you an idea on size. Okay, that lock washer is 138 thousandths. Let's go to millimeters for you metric guys, and that is 3.51 millimeters. And what I did was I ended up getting star washers. These are metric star washers. They weren't expensive. I think I got 50 of them or 25 of them. And when you mic this up, you'll see that it is 100 thousandths, approximately 100 thousandths, or 2.7 millimeters. So instead of using the full-size lock washers, which were always challenging to get the nut in, I use these, and that goes against it. So it gives me a little more space to slide the nut up. One of the other things that I found, I purchased new metric nuts, and the nuts, when you measure the thickness of the nuts, it was 300 thousandths. But I found what I did was I couldn't get the full-size nut in there, so I machined the nut down, and I thinned the nut out and made it 0.248 or a quarter-inch wide nut. There's enough thread inside there to catch it, and now I was able to put the lock washer in, the nut on, and I put the nut on this direction because there's a slight bevel, and it helps to engage the threads as compared to if you're trying to do the machine side. It's very difficult to get it started, so I put it on this way. There's the two nuts, and of course 2 star washers, 1 on each gear. And I was able to assemble the lock washers in place, and I did use Loctite in addition to it, but I don't want to be taking this apart. So I eliminated this particular split washer and went with these, and it's still a bit tight. It's still very close. It's about 2 thousandths clearance between the two axle studs that come in. You know, the two axles come in like this, and the nuts are here and here, and they're 2 thousandths clearance, approximately 2 thousandths clearance, which is a bit tight. So I think I'm going to go up there inside the differential with a thinned out hacksaw blade and give myself a little more clearance. It's not the nuts that are too close. You know, I looked at it, and the nuts are far enough apart, but the ends of the axle are not quite touching, but pretty close. So I'm going to go up inside there. I'm going to get a hacksaw blade, thin it out so it's very thin, and go up there and just saw down between to give me a little more space. I'd like to have at least 3 thousandths space so the two axles aren't banging into each other. That pretty much does it. Oh, so I think I did show you this, the difference in height. So I'm hoping that that will solve any further issues with the differential. These parts are ready to go back in the car again. I'm just going to seal everything up. Let me just turn it over here. I'm going to seal everything up. I use Permatex on the bolts so it doesn't get any leaks. And I'll be sealing this up shortly and giving it a try. But that's the latest update on the differential. It will probably be going in sometime today. Any questions, feel free to ask. Hopefully all my issues and my problems will be gone. That does it for this video.